Today we will talk about the physical meaning of J plus and J minus, or rather why we call it a ladder operator. So before we begin, we'll recollect how we have represented J plus and J minus. So as you all know, J plus is written as J plus is equal to Jx plus Ijy. Let's put it as equation 1. And J minus as equal to Jx minus Ijy. That's the equation number 2. Again, in the previous video lectures, we talked about the commutation relations of J plus and J minus. So, first one we discussed was commutation J plus J minus is given by 2H cross Jz. That will put it as equation number 3. And again we have commutation Jz on J plus gives plus H cross J plus. That's equation number 4. And again Jz on J minus commutation is given by minus H cross J minus. That's equation number 5. Again, we looked into the J square on J plus commutation and J minus, and we saw that J square commutes with all J plus and J minus. So how do you write it? J square J plus. If it commutes, it is equal to 0. And this also commutes, J square also commutes with J minus. So you can write it as J square J minus is also equal to 0. So let's put it as equation number 6. In this current lecture, we will discuss about J plus as a raising operator. It's called the raising operator. J plus, and J minus is called the lowering operator. And together it is called the ladder operator. So as you know, you can move up or down a ladder. You can see that there are so many steps on a ladder where you can move up or you can move down. So that is why J plus is always called the raising operator and J minus is called the lowering operator. Now why it is called so? To get an answer to this, we have to look into how Jz acts on J plus. So we have to look into how Jz acts on your J plus ket AB. So this is what we have to look into. But straight away you cannot tell what J plus ket AB is. But you know one thing, that is, again I'll just recap two more things. That is, we've learned j square acting on ket AB. You have the eigenvalue A times ket AB, and also jz acting on ket AB gives you B times the eigenvalue B times ket AB. Okay. Now in order to solve this, what we do is we make use of the commutation relation. Okay. We make use of the commutation relation. What is it? The fourth one, jz j plus is equal to h cross j plus. So here we take into consideration, what is it? J plus so it is jz j plus. Okay. So jz j plus commutation, we have got it as plus h cross j plus. Now just expand this commutation relation. So jz j plus is equal to jz j plus minus j plus jz. So we have to substitute this equation. So we have to substitute for jz j plus. So jz j plus is equal to commutation jz j plus plus j plus jz. Now we have to add this upon our eigenket ket AB, which we have called as simultaneous eigenket, is equal to, so just I'll write this term first, j plus jz ket AB plus commutation jz j plus ket AB. Okay. Now we know that jz acting on ket AB, that we have written here. Jz acting on ket AB is nothing but B times ket AB. So this you can write as B times eigenvalue B times ket AB plus, what is this? Jz j plus, we have seen that it is equal to plus h cross j plus. So you can write it as h cross j plus ket AB. So here I missed this j plus here, j plus. So you can see that B is an eigenvalue, which is constant, you can take it outside. So you can write this as B j plus ket AB plus h cross, that's also constant, you have j plus ket AB. Here we have jz acting on j plus ket AB is equal to B j plus ket AB plus h cross j plus ket AB. Now we can just take this common factor outside. So it will become B plus h cross, what is it? J plus ket AB, and here you have jz j plus ket AB. Now just look into this equation. Let's put this as equation 7. Okay. Now we'll just look into this equation. Here we can see that jz, when it is acting on j plus, so jz's eigenket is j plus AB. So here operator acting on eigenket gives eigenvalue times the eigenket. Okay, so here you can see that for Jz it is a eigenket. The eigenket of Jz is J plus ket AB, and also we have in prior we have also noted that Jz, the eigenket of Jz also ket AB. So you can tell that Jz eigenket is J plus ket AB and also ket AB. Now we can see that when an operator acts on this, what happens? It has increased. Jz we know will give you an eigenvalue B, but when J plus was there, it gave you 1 unit of H cross more. So that is why we call it a raising operator. So again, when you act upon one more J plus, what happens? It becomes B plus 2H cross. And again, once more when you act upon J plus, you get B plus 3H cross. That is why we call it a ladder operator. That is, or it is a raising operator. Again, you just work out Jz acting on J minus ket AB, and you should get it as B minus H cross J minus ket AB. So this, you work it out, have fun with it, and see and come to a conclusion that it is a lowering operator. Why? The value of the eigenvalue of B is getting reduced by steps of H cross. So again, if you act it upon one more J minus, it will become B minus 2H cross, and similarly you can keep on lowering the value of the eigenvalue B. Again, we can see that even though Jz changes the eigenvalue, even though J plus changes the eigenvalue of Jz by 1 unit, it does not change the eigenvalue of J square. That also you can just prove it. Okay, how do you prove it? So it is J square. Similarly, as we did, it is acting on J plus ket AB. You have to find out this. So again, we don't know what is J plus acting on ket AB, but we do know J square acting on ket AB. What is J square acting on ket AB? It is nothing but equal to A times ket AB. So making use of this relation, also we know the commutation relation. J square J plus, it commutes with J plus, so it is equal to 0. So we have to, in the previous steps, how we have done is the same way. You have to expand this commutation relation. So J square J plus commutation, if you expand, you get as J square J plus minus J plus J square. Okay, this is out. So what you want? You want J square J plus. So keeping this, J square J plus is equal to commutation J square J plus J plus J square. Now you acted upon by the simultaneous eigenket ket AB. You can see J square J plus ket AB is equal to commutation J square J plus ket AB plus J square ket AB. So this we know it is equal to 0, and this acting on J square acting on A ket AB will give you A times this one, A times ket AB. So this relation we can write it as J square on J plus ket AB is equal to J plus A times ket AB. So this is an eigenvalue. So this is equal to A J plus ket AB. So again you can say that j square, the eigenket of j square is j plus ket AB with an eigenvalue A which is unaltered times the eigenket j plus ket AB. Here again we can see that, so we'll just put some equation numbers. So this is the 7th equation, this is the 8th equation, and this is the 9th equation. So you can also try proving this, that is j square acting on j minus ket AB is equal to, there won't be any change, again A itself is retained, j minus times ket AB, the 10th equation. So we have to summarize, we can say that j plus or minus ket AB are simultaneous eigenkets of j square and jz with eigenvalue are simultaneous, just write down, simultaneous eigenkets of, so we have seen so j square and jz with eigenvalue, what is it, for j square it is only A, and for jz it is, you remember it, it is B plus H cross, and if it is minus j minus, it is B minus H cross. Therefore we may write j plus or minus ket AB is equal to some proportionality constant, say C plus or minus eigenket A comma B plus or minus H cross. So for j plus it is B plus H cross, and j minus it is B minus H cross. This proportionality constant C plus or minus, C plus C minus, will be determined in a later video from the normalization requirement of angular momentum eigenkets. So thank you all. Enjoy quantum mechanics.